Ian Hart.
Are you angry?
No.
What are you thinking?
Nothing I can put into words. I've told you before, Paul, I won't tell you again. If you kick Stu out of this band, I'll go with him.
No, you won't. And I'll tell you why, shall I? Because you know how good we can be.
Not without me.
And you're not gonna kiss it goodbye.
Oh, just watch me, mate.
What is it then? What is it between you two?
What is it?
Yeah, what's going on?
Are you saying I'm a queer?
I used to say, life's what happens when you're making other plans. I used to say, suddenly you're 40 and there's so much left to do. I used to say, a wop bop a loo bop a womp bam boom. I used to say a lot of things.
Ian Hart played John 3 times, and his best performance is in the movie Backbeat. He nails the angry, acidic side of John, and his accent isn't bad or forced. The only problem I have with Ian is that he doesn't look or sound like John Lennon a whole lot. Yes, I know this isn't a defining factor in rating a performance, there are others, but comparing him to some other actors in this list, I can't put him in my top 3. But he's a really good actor and he's really good as John. Stephen McKenna.
My best friend just died.
No point, Ellie.
He was my best friend.
I saw her standing there.
We went back a long ways.
Roll over Beethoven.
My mother Julia was my best friend. She died when I was 14. He always told me the truth, Stu did. He said that our music was good and ahead of its time. He died from a brain hemorrhage. I don't even know what that means. He was only 21. But George said he must have packed in 80 years of living into his short 20. In that case, he must have seen into the future. He must have known we were going places. Where are we going?
To the top.
I can't hear you.
To the top.
What top?
To the very top.
Let's rock and roll.
Stephen McKenna is a good actor. I like how he handles John's grief after Stu's death in this scene, but he's too old for the part. I'm sorry, but it looks like they put a wig on a 40-year-old man and said, "You're John Lennon." He looks nothing like John, more like Ringo. At no point am I convinced he's John, but an actor playing John. Jared Harris.
Excuse me, I don't want to bother you or anything, but...
Oh, you are?
Yeah. But, I just wanted to tell you that you've been like a big hero to me for a long time, and I just wanted to thank you.
Well, thanks very much, and I hope you get over it.
It's not a hero so much, like it's more like, you saved me from...
Right, look, don't go nailing me to your cross, all right?
Yeah. Can I just ask you one thing?
What?
Okay, you've always been my favorite Beatle, right? And I was just wondering if there's any truth at all, to all these rumors about you guys getting back together.
Not a chance.
Really?
Why would you want that?
Well, I just think that it would be...
Aren't I your favourite Beatle?
Yeah.
Well, what do we need the others for then, eh? Aren't I enough for you?
Jared Harris might not look nor sound like Lennon, but he nails the jokester side of him. He sells you Lennon, even while looking absolutely nothing like the man. It's quite impressive considering. His performance is nuanced and believable, and I highly recommend the movie Two of Us. Philip McQuillen.
George Martin has a stellar reputation.
Solid reputation. What did he bloody say?
That he doesn't know much about rock groups. He mainly produces classical music and comedy albums. But he thought you boys were special.
Well, of course we are.
There is a problem.
He doesn't like your hair.
Well, I didn't like his tie.
It's Pete. He thinks he's the weak link in the band. If he signs us, he will insist on using another drummer for the recording sessions.
Pete won't stand for that.
I say we make a clean cut. It's not like we haven't talked about this before.
George is right. We'd all rather have Rich Starkey. Now's our chance. Pete's going to be crushed. Absolutely bloody crushed.
He doesn't care if we keep him for live performances.
That makes no sense. If we're going to do this, we can't do it ass about face. Brian, you tell Pete he's out. I'll get Ringo in.
I'm sorry, but Philip McQuillen is the worst John Lennon. His accent is comical, his performance is limited, and he doesn't look the part at all. And it's not just Philip, the whole In His Life movie is filled with questionable performances, in my opinion. Also, seriously, enough with the movie telling the origins of John Lennon. This is almost like Spider-Man or something. We had like 5 movies about his origins already. Mark Lindsay Chapman. Yes, there was a man named Mark Chapman who played John Lennon in a feature film. Crazy. Mark doesn't do a whole lot in chapter 27. The movie is more focused on Jared Leto's character. There is not much to say. Paul Rudd.
Gotta check with headquarters.
Mon Dieu, Cox. Think you might enjoy it. Open up your mind to new experience, a new level of consciousness like we do because we are the Beatles.
Paul Rudd's performance is really a joke, in the good sense. I'm sure he could deliver a better performance if he actually tried. But you can tell they're just improving and having fun. Christopher Eccleston. I really don't like Christopher Eccleston's performance. He plays John really unlikable and one-dimensional. Not to mention he looks too old for the part. At one point in Lennon Naked, he's supposed to be playing 20-year-old John, and he looks older than a dad. Robert Carlyle.
I'll let her slip away.
Try to get her back. You want a good life? It's not complicated. Tell the girl you love that you love her. And tell the truth to everyone whenever you can.
Everybody loves Robert Carlyle, but honestly, I don't see it. Sure, he looks like John, but he doesn't feel like John. He's too soft and sweet, and John wasn't like that. He's fine, but he's not the best pick for a guy like John. It goes to show that looking like the man doesn't always make the performance, you know? Neil Innes.
Some people say you've been staying away from Liverpool, now you're famous.
Oh, we haven't been staying away so much as not coming here.
Some people say it's 6 months since you came back here.
Well, that's just the sort of thing some people would say.
Nevertheless, it has been 6 months.
Now you're saying it. Why don't you ask me where I've been?
Where have you been?
I'm not telling you.
I love Neil Innes. Sure, he's technically playing Ron Nasty in the Rutles All You Need Is Cash, but he's just so natural as John. Not to mention he's also a legit great composer. Are you kidding? Listen to the Rutles albums. That man could write good songs. Perfect comedic performance. Stephen Sullivan. Mark Staycer.
It's in a way like King Creole that rock and roll says it all. It's in a way like you hear me. They're only words that you feel.
Mark Staycer is an underrated John Lennon. For his movie Let Him Be, they actually had the great idea to put makeup and prosthetics in him to make him more like John Lennon. He already looked like him, but after that, it's uncanny. John Clive.
Well, maybe we should call a road service. Well, what do you think?
John Clive is fine, It's just voice acting, so I can't rate him higher than 7, but he's good. And he's the only actor to play John while the Beatles were still together. Mark McGann.
I like that.
Excuse me.
Can I hammer a nail?
No.
But the sign says.
I know what the sign says, but the exhibition isn't open yet.
Hello, John. Hello, John, yourself. Glad you could make it.
Mark McGann is the best John Lennon, in my opinion. He nails everything, the voice, the accent, and especially the look. He's not as good an actor as Aaron Johnson, for example, but he's got everything you want in a John Lennon performance. I don't think it's a coincidence that Yoko Ono was involved in the movie John and Yoko: A Love Story. Say what you want about Yoko, but she nailed the casting. 10 out of 10 for me. Aaron Johnson. Aaron Johnson is the second best Lennon for me. He's the best actor that ever played Lennon, and he looks like Lennon a bit. In fact, if or when they do another Lennon biopic, he would be my go-to choice to play him. I personally prefer Mark McGann, but Aaron's great, and I'm sure a lot of fans would put him on top. That's all I have for you today. Tell me in the comments which actor you prefer, and click the like button to get Beatles Bibleized.